Hello, everybody. This is Connor. I would just like to thank everyone who listened to the first half of our debut episode. If you enjoyed it, well, here's the second half up. Once more, I would like to thank Brooks Vernon for putting the first half on his SoundCloud page and the YouTube page. It was a great help for us, and I really appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get the second half up and running. All right, enjoy.
If you haven't noticed, we're at the hour 20 mark. How long should our episodes be? Like, should we?
I think it's fine to make it go like maybe an hour and a half.
Okay.
There's still stuff we can talk about, that's actually worth a damn right now.
Yeah.
Well, real quick, talk about a little bit about movies since we want to get off the topic of stuff like that. Sunday, as I told you when we were trying to pick a day to record this fucking thing, I saw the new X-Men movie Logan.
Yeah, how was that? I hear that story is crazy.
It's excellent. There was a couple parts in it that I was like, wait, what the fuck? One of them, and this isn't really a spoiler or anything like that, it happens very early in the movie, is that Logan is looking through this collection of stuff. So do you know much about the plot?
All right, so this is what I know about the plot, or the story of old Logan. So it takes place like in a slightly dystopian future, and where like different superheroes kind of own different parts of the country, like i.e. the Hulk owns California and he has Hulk babies that eat people, and the Hulk eats Logan at some point. Does any of that ring a bell?
Well, you were right on the dystopian future part.
Oh, okay. So then I guess the movie's different, because that's what the original story, as I've been told, is about.
Yeah, well, I mean that could be again what the comics about and everything like that. But in the movie, it's Logan. It's like I forget what year they say it was. I want to say it's 2070.
70, okay.
But like at the same time, it's not like, and it's good because it's like it looks the same. Like the only thing that kind of changes is like they have a nicer looking TV in this hotel room they stay in. Logan drives like he's a limo driver. Like he's kind of gone underground, and not underground. He's just he's no longer like I'm the Wolverine. Yeah. And he has like he's a job as a limo driver, and his limo is like it looks. And, there could be a limo out there that looks like the one he drives right now. But it looks kind of futuristic, like it's got a weird looking, grill and everything like that. But, like, other than that, like, it could have easily been set in, like, 2016 or what. But, like, and it might be, like, 2023 or something like that. I'd have to look it up again. But, like, so basically he's hiding out because some asshole came out and was like, oh, mutants are bad, we're gonna, ban them and stuff. And so he's hiding out. And he's taking care of Professor X, who has, like, dementia or something like that. And he's like, going crazy. Hold on. Oh, yeah, so he's going crazy, and He keeps like having these like seizures that just like cause everyone around them who's not like a super powerful mutant like a Wolverine to like become paralyzed, right? And so he's looking after him, making sure he's getting his drugs to keep him from like killing everybody. And he's approached by this woman who's like, hey, I want you to take this girl who's my daughter up to I think North Dakota, and then take her over the border where she'll be safe, because Canada's, in every movie that is set where someone has to escape the country, Canada is a safe haven that is untouched by the United States, and is, everyone who goes in there is completely safe, and we accept all refugees. I mean, they're kind of like that now, we accept refugees.
So it could easily be 2017 in this movie.
Exactly. And this whole movie could be a political statement on refugees and immigrants.
Geez.
Oh my God!
You hear that, Donald Trump? We're even coming for your superheroes, you sumbitch.
But he has to take this girl up, and she's a mutant. I won't say any more. Like, I'll leave it like as kind of like because I didn't know much about it, and I went into it, and it was things that I was like, whoa. But she's a mutant, and he's getting ready to take the girl. The woman who was caring for her, who's actually revealed not to be her mother, is killed by this secret organization, and he's looking through her stuff to like get the kids' belongings, and to steal money from her that she promised, and he finds X-Men comics.
Yeah, I saw that in like the fucking trailer. What do they have? Like are the X-Men a story within the universe of the X-Men?
That was my question. I was looking at it like, because when it happened in the movie, I was sitting there with my friend, and I was like, hold on, wait, what? I was like, what the fuck? And then it's revealed later on. They don't sit down and go, oh yeah, we know Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, it's he finds it in like the girls, she's reading it, and he goes like, you read this bullshit? All this stuff's fabricated, right? Two guys, just made this shit up. And it's like, it kind of implies that like, because the X-Men, and mutants, became a little more well known throughout the years, that at some point Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, found out about it, and were like, oh dude, this would make great comic books. Let's, dramatize it and shit like that. And it's like, okay, that's understandable. Like, I can see that happening. But like, would you be able to sue over that? Like, likenesses and everything like that?
I mean, I maybe, but like, I remember seeing in like the trailer, like the cover of the magazines, it's like the old classic Wolverine where he's got the yellow jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
And that's another thing. It's like, and this is just because 20th Century Fox has just fucked the X-Men timeline up so much.
Yeah.
With like, I mean, as much as I love Days of Future Past and First Class,
which I haven't seen.
Shit.
I haven't seen Days of Future Past or First Class.
Days of Future Past is good, but First Class is great.
Yeah, I hear people really like First Class.
First Class I think is the better received of the two, but Days of Future Past was well received as well, and I liked it. James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender, I think they're both fantastic actors. And 20th Century Fox have really fucked over the X-Men timeline. So like, I was watching this and I was like, wait, was all this stuff from like X-Men 1, X-Men 2, X-Men, well, not X-Men 3 because that's kind of been retconned at this point. But like all the other movies, like, were those supposed to take place in like older times? Because like, what? And
yeah,
it raises too many questions that we don't get the answers to. And that was a gripe I had with it. I know that's a small thing, people are like, oh, nitpicking. But like,
I don't know, man. Like, is it canon to the timeline? Like, because if it is, then like, I don't know, some explanation is like needed.
And that was something I had a question about too. Like, is this like, this is taking place in the same universe as like X-Men 1, X-Men 2, everything like that, or is this like an alternate universe? I know this is maybe not for Patrick Stewart, but definitely for Hugh Jackman. This is his last movie as Wolverine.
Oh, is it really?
So, yeah, he said like this was like the send off. And it
I
might
don't
be for
know.
Patrick
Hugh Jackman
Stewart
might
too.
need some money in the future.
But he's also like, I don't know what age he is, but he's getting up there. He's not as young as he used to be.
No, he's most certainly
Like
is not.
X-Men 1 was a long time ago.
God damn.
But
Man, I remember when that movie came out too.
I do too, and I remember seeing it and being like, "Oh, what's that?" And my parents were like, "Oh, it's a really good movie. Oh, can I watch it?" And being like, 5 or whatever when it came out, and they were like, it's when you're older."
God, man, I remember even getting the act. You know what? It's funny. I remember getting the action figure of like Wolverine to the first movie, but like never seeing it until I was much older. We had the DVDs, but like I wasn't allowed to watch them. I was allowed to play with the toys, just not
Which is funny
watch the movies.
because in hindsight, they're PG movies.
Yeah, they're not incredibly, really all that violent. I mean, for me at that age, like, I mean, Christ, I would say like Jurassic Park, and just depending on what Godzilla movie, some of those were more violent than the fucking like X-Men movie.
Yeah,
I mean,
and,
fuck, I saw Alien when I was really young, and like Goodfellas and Clockwork Orange, so like,
And then your
I
parents
was
were like,
pretty
"No, but
desensitized.
X-Men 1,
Yeah, yeah. I think they didn't want to show it to me because it probably wasn't very good. I mean, I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so.
I mean, it's
Or
critically,
a teenager,
it's not,
rather.
I don't think it's like regarded too well, like in hindsight. Like I think at the time it came out, people were like, "Oh, this is so good," but like I think when you go back and watch it, like they all wear the leather outfits and everything like that. And I remember like reading that Hugh Jackman said he hated wearing like the leather Wolverine outfit because like you couldn't move much in it.
Yeah. I can't imagine you would be able to.
But I still think it's a good movie. And I like a lot of the parts in it are really good. X-Men 2 I think is good. I don't know if it's aged as well as say like some other superhero movies have. Well, because like a lot of superhero movies from like late 90s, early 2000s haven't aged too well.
Yeah.
And if any of you guys want to see a horror movie, sorry, not a horror movie, sort of superhero movie that hasn't really aged too well, I recommend Sam Raimi's Darkman.
Oh, fuck. I completely forgot about that movie.
Yeah, you forget about that, don't you?
I never saw it, but I know I saw like things about it, and I want to say there's an old comic that I have that has like an ad for it in the back.
Well, I mean, I remember it's still I think got a very high critical rating, and I watched it and I was like, really? Like, really? I mean, it's not terrible. It's just like the effects have aged, the acting's not great in it, and it's got like Liam Neeson and Frances who's the one that's in like Fargo? She's married to one of the Coen brothers.
Who are you talking about? Which character?
She's the main character.
Oh,
in,
the main girl in Fargo, the first movie. Oh fuck, I don't remember
Frances
her name.
something. She's a great actress, but she's
married to one of the Coen brothers.
Yeah, she's married to. That's why she's in all of them.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense.
Well, I mean, it's also because she's a great actress, but like she's she's married to one of the Coen brothers. So he's like, "You're going in all my movies now." Or maybe it happened the other way around, and she was just in all his movies, and he was like, "You want to get married?"
Well, you're already on set most of the time, so I already see you.
So you might as well, I mean, I'm not gonna do any better. You probably will, but I won't.
Look, we'll both be lonely either way.
But there's a really great line in it to take out of context, and it's so the plot for Darkman is for those who don't know, and since you haven't seen it, I don't know if you know. It's very very spotty, but Liam Neeson is a scientist who's working on some kind of serum or some bullshit, and he ends up like making enemies somehow with the company his girlfriend works with, played by her from Fargo, Frances Mc something. I think McDormand, I think is her name. I'm not sure. And
I have the power of the internet at my hands. I don't know why I'm not Googling that.
And he gets killed by a hitman who's played by one of the guys from LA Law, which, if you look at what the guy looks like, you're like, well, I mean, I can see why people didn't take him seriously in the movie. But he's fat, he's dorky looking, and he's just like, he's got this big group of thugs with him, and then everyone's just kind of laughing. They're like, oh, what you guys gonna do? And then they all fuck the guys up.
Oh,
and then
shit.
he gets like, now here's the thing. I need you to do this for me, and I need you to do it by this day. And then you're like, well, I can really see why people don't take you seriously, mate.
Just as a side note, the actress you were thinking of was William H. Macy. Continue.
Ah, that's it.
No, it was Frances McDormand. You got it right the second time.
Yeah, I get her last name mixed up with Ian I think Dermot.
Ian McKellen
or something like that. Who's the actor who played Emperor Palpatine? Who is turning into one of the greatest dank memes of all time.
Oh God, he is the dankest.
Yeah. So Liam Neeson makes enemies with the company she works with, and the fat hitman comes, and him and his team fuck him up and like make his lab explode. We get to see some great 90s effects, and something happens, and I think like you actually see Liam Neeson like in one of those like really 90s, like he gets blown up into the air and the fire's behind him and it's like obvious green screen. He's like, oh,
is it like the Incredible Hulk explosion where there's an explosion, he's running down the hallway and it like some sort of explosion goes off and then he becomes paper?
Yeah, and then like, no, it's not that bad. And
okay.
That is also one of the worst movies ever. It is far worse than Darkman, as much as Darkman is
made
not
by
great.
Ang Lee. Made by Ang fucking Lee.
Yes, the guy who brought Life of Pi, right?
Life of Pi, Brokeback Mountain, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Like that guy's actually made good movie.
Like I remember, but I
heroin's
think like
one hell of a drug.
Yeah, I think he was trying to do. Like sometimes when you watch it, you're like,
no, there's clearly something he's going for. Yeah, like there's an obvious like stylistic choice, I guess, but like it just doesn't seem to work or make any fucking sense.
Yeah, it's not great. But anyway, Darkman, he becomes all disfigured, and then it's something in his lab, I think, was to do with rebuilding human tissue. So he starts creating like, trying to create a mask for himself of his old face, so he can go back with his I think they were fiance or whatever. They were Frances McDormand was his fiance, and we get some of those moments where like he follows her through the streets on her day, but never goes up and says like, I'm still alive. But he then starts like individually taking down every member of the fat hitman's team, and there's some great scenes in it. Like he takes Ted Raimi's in it because it's a Sam Raimi movie. Of course, Ted Raimi's in it, and he takes him into the sewer and he's like interrogating him. He's like, why did you guys do that? And then Ted Raimi's like, duh. And he's like, You said you wouldn't kill me. And he's like, no, I said I wouldn't hurt you. I didn't say I wouldn't kill you. And he like sticks his head up through this manhole cover and out into the middle of the street. And like it doesn't show it, but no, maybe it does because it's a Sam Raimi movie and they have lots of crazy visuals in it. But like like he gets his head gets like squished by a tire. It's great.
God.
But there's so he eventually like he's making masks, and that's basically his power. Is he's able to use this technology to make masks so he can impersonate people. And he uses that to like kill people in the guy's organization, stuff like that. It's fine at times. Acting's over the top and stuff, but like overall, it's harmless. But
1990 did this movie come out?
Yeah, I think sometime around then.
Yeah, Sam Raimi. Oh my God. Oh yeah. I fucking remember
like,
this movie.
Oh
my God, there's 3 of these movies?
Yeah, none of them had Liam Neeson after that though.
I wonder why. He didn't want that paycheck?
But there's a great scene in it where he gets his face back, and because of like all the shit he's going through, like he's gone crazy, and his anger like is through the roof. He basically just turned into me, and he's at like a carnival with his girlfriend, and he's trying to knock down the like the milk bottles, and they won't like knock over, like they're glued down, and he's talking to the guy and he's like, that hit it, I should get it for that. I'm trying to do a Liam Neeson voice, and then guy's like,
doing
sorry,
a bang
bud,
up job.
You didn't knock over the bottles. And he's like, but that's not fair. And like he's yelling, and you can see he's getting angrier, and it does one of those like pan out zooms, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
where like
I know exactly
he stays in focus and everything around him like zooms out,
Yeah, the Hitchcock zoom.
Yeah. And he like loses his mind, and he takes the guy's hand, which turns into an obvious rubber prosthetic, and like folds it backwards over the wrist. And the guy's like, screaming and everything. And he was trying to win a pink elephant for his wife.
Oh my God.
And we get the greatest line in the movie, which is, here, take the elephant. And she sees him like go all crazy, and she's like, no. And he goes, in his Liam Neeson voice, take the fucking pink elephant. And if you ever just have like a something you want to say to someone like out of context, and just because you're angry at them, just say that.
I
line
will say that.
completely serious, like, take the fucking pink elephant.
God damn.
It's
I
movie. It's like,
It
people
sounds
always
brilliant.
say, Sam Raimi's not a good filmmaker because his movies are more like campy.
I don't know
than
about
anything
that.
else,
Like like I'm entertained by a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, people say like the first Evil Dead's not a good horror movie because it's like it's campy. The acting's over the top, but like then he was like, well, this is obviously what I'm meant to do, and then he did Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, which are just full on comedies.
Yeah.
Which I will also say, all those movies are on my watch list. And I'm ashamed to say that.
Oh
I've
man,
never seen a
dude,
single Evil Dead movie.
those are Evil Dead 1 and 2, Army of Darkness, Nightmare on Elm Street, like all those movies. I watched those religiously as a kid, and like they're fucking ridiculous.
Well, first of all, your parents letting you watch the Evil Dead movies and Nightmare on Elm Street. That's just like,
Well, I mean, because at the time, I guess a lot of them I found on my own. Like right when my house got the internet, I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm having fun." But like, I don't know, man. Like my childhood was weird. I was gonna say one thing earlier. It's interesting to see Liam Neeson's career go from Darkman to the latest hit film Silence, which I absolutely adored. By the way, the new Scorsese.
Was he
film.
good in it?
Yeah, he was good. I thought he was. I mean, the role that I thought probably was the best was Andrew Garfield's.
Yeah, I remember reading Brad Jones. He'd just seen Silence, and he was like, "I think we should." And because Silence was nominated for an Oscar,
Yeah.
it got nominated for like some bullshit like best sound design or something like that.
Yeah.
Hold on, no offense to people who work with sound design and saying
No, it's a
that's
very
bullshit
important job.
nomination. It is, but like, a movie is critically acclaimed as Silence and like is built up just because it was released late in the year. I think it's unfair to kind of like take all the
Yeah.
nominations away from it for like.
Yeah. I don't think
Florence
fucking
Foster
Hacksaw
Jones.
Ridge deserves the fucking nomination. Did I tell you I saw that?
No, you didn't. Was it?
Oh
what'd you think?
man, it was well, it was tasteless. It was
How many anti-Jew jokes were in it?
not enough.
Let me just say, I still like deep down, I still like Mel Gibson, not as a person in any way or like sense of the word. I think he's a bit of a scumbag, but like as an actor, as a director, I think he's really talented.
I would disagree. I don't think I've ever seen
You
a
think-
good movie directed by this man.
I mean, I've okay. To be fair, I've never seen any of his movies he's directed, so take that.
Okay, so then
director
shut the
comment
fuck up.
with a grain of salt. Yeah, but like as an actor, I think he's a great actor. Like,
Okay, as an actor, sure, I'll give you that. I've seen him act, but like as a director, I don't think I've ever seen that man like create anything that's better than quote unquote passable. Like, all right, so I won't go like super deep into detail with Hacksaw Ridge because we're like almost at 2 hours here. But like I talked about this on the podcast, and my friend Johnny.
I mean, we have a lot of real quick. We have a lot of things in here we could probably just edit out and probably make
Yeah.
it to like an hour and a half. So if we
Yeah.
just want to keep talking, I like because I'm enjoying this right now.
No, yeah, me too. I will say like at some point I need to go to bed. Hold on, can I help you?
54 years ago today, Patsy Cline died.
Great. Did you hear that?
No, I just heard. Can I help you?
Oh, my mom wanted to tell me 50 years ago, Patsy Cline, 54, Patsy Cline died. Here's one of the bits we can cut out.
Is that she died 50 years ago?
It's 54 years ago.
Ah, cool. I mean, awesome.
I
I
have
s-
like
I see why
I
you're
have
like-
two conversations going on at the same time. All right, so anyways, I've talked about this on the podcast.
Podcast?
I'm fucking like recording here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
God damn it.
You should have
Can't get
sign on your door.
Can't get any fucking peace and quiet around here. Quiet. Anyways, so I talked about this on the podcast at length, and like it's so this movie like so. All right, I'm gonna try and like talk about it without like just giving it insults because there's a lot of insults that I could give to this film. But like my main problem, and it stems to a much larger problem, is that modern biopics, like film biopics, like they are like so bland. Like they do not take any risks. They follow in the footsteps of others. They stood on the shoulders of other people for years, and bam, they're selling it. Bam, they're selling it. It's a little Jurassic Park line there for you.
I can't wait to see how that turns out on your
Yeah, that really peaked really bad. My mic stand that I'm using is like a little wobbly, so like I've been hitting it and it's like been peaking like every so often. So I'm like, oh god, I gotta fix that. But anyways, so like the movie, like it's like just picture like a movie that would be on in a movie theater in the scene of like a TV show or another movie. It's just like it just has so many cliches. Like it has like the bland woman like love interest that like results in nothing. Like stereotypical angles and shots. Like nothing creative. Like it's all like big wide crane shots. Fucking the first act is like I could have sworn Andrew Garfield was like mentally challenged. Like I thought like he was like supposed to be like this sort of like Forrest Gump sort of person, but apparently
It's just the accent, I'm sure.
I'm sure, but like I also like to think like Mel Gibson just thinks everyone in the South is retarded. So like I've been talking about this movie like all day today, so like I'm a little. I've been up since 1 a.m., so I'm like a little exhausted. So like at some point, like probably like at 10:30, I gotta go to bed because I got shit to do tomorrow. But like with Hacksaw
Right.
Ridge, man, it's just so utterly boring. Like,
Oh shit!
and,
I
like-
just also remembered that I have to be up at like 5:30 tomorrow because I have
fuck.
I have work at 7.
Oh fuck. Oh, that's great. With Hacksaw Ridge, it's really like the lamer Silence, which is really odd. Like they have a lot of the same like they have a lot of weirdly like a lot of weird similarities. Like I mean, not only do they both have Andrew Garfield as like as the main character, but they're both like heavy faith-based films. They're both about somebody going off to save somebody. They both take place in Japan. So it's just bland. Like that's all I could say. Like the music isn't very interesting to listen to. It's fucking editing, which it won. Absolutely is the worst. There's a literal slow motion scene in which a dad is about to beat Andrew Garfield as a kid, and like he's talking in slow motion, and it is insanely goofy. Like there are so many goofy just things in this film. It's ridiculous. Like there's a war scene that like the whole second half is a war scene. It's at quote unquote Hacksaw Ridge, and like there's just the faces these guys make are comical. Like they're like a guy goes up to stab someone or something, and like his eyes are just like bug-eyed, and he's like, "Bah!" And the other guy's like, "Ah!" And like I could not stop laughing. Like and what kills me is that the blood effects that they use during the war scene are the fucking CGI, so blatantly fake like shots. Like I have to sit there and question myself like, does anybody believe any of this? Is anyone being thrilled? Like seriously, this is just so like. Now, granted, like films, they're hard to make. Like they're really hard to make. But like, did anyone try like Up Here? Did anyone like try to think objectively? Like, if you've ever seen Full Metal Jacket or Saving Private Ryan, you have already seen Hacksaw Ridge. This film
Well, I mean,
tries.
I've
This
seen
film
it-
goes
well, okay,
out
I
of
was
its
about to say.
way to like hit cliches. This movie even has jump scares. This movie even has jump scares. That's how badly this movie is trying to get every fucking cliche.
Jesus.
I like it's go. You know, hey man, like it's nominated for Best Picture. I guess Silence wasn't fucking powerful enough. Like
Well,
fuck.
And that's what's funny. I watched Brad. Well, I just saw a tweet from him, and it was Brad Jones saying, "Oh, you might as well at this point." And this was before the Oscars came out. He said, "At this point, you might as well just take every nomination that Hacksaw Ridge, like every nomination, basically everything that Hacksaw Ridge was nominated for, just take that out and replace it with Silence."
Oh god.
And it was just,
I
it was like
wish.
the reason I was kind of laughing about it was because not because of that statement, because I haven't seen either. So like,
See Silence. You're not
Uh,
missing anything with Hacksaw Ridge.
yeah, no, I want to see Silence. And I saw part. To be fair, I did see part of Hacksaw Ridge, and I thought, and I don't like Andrew Garfield, and partially because he's in my least favorite movie of all time, which I've already discussed with you. But for people out there who haven't had this misfortune yet, the movie is Amazing Spider-Man 1. Not
Oh, yeah,
Amazing
you
Spider-Man
hate that
2,
movie.
which I will not see because of how bad Amazing Spider-Man 1 is. But I absolutely despise Amazing Spider-Man 1. But because of that, I don't like Andrew Garfield. But I saw part of Hacksaw Ridge, and I was like, oh, he's actually, doing like a pretty good job in this. But like, he looks like he's doing a far better job in what's it called? Silence. And
Yeah.
partially because
No,
isn't
yeah.
he's doing. Well, I was about to say he's doing an English accent, but I think he's doing like he's being Italian, right?
Yeah, it's like that.
And I'm not
yeah,
talking
it's-
like
it's-
Al
it's like-
Pacino Italian.
No, yeah. It's definitely like Italian, Spain sort of like accent, but like I mean he speaks English in the film, but like it's definitely
Oh,
more
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And his performance in Silence is powerful. Like my friend Johnny, who was spiritually moved by Hacksaw Ridge. Like the only thing that moved me about Hacksaw Ridge is that it moved through my asshole. Like
Yeah, I was about to
I'm
say
sorry.
it was a what you call it movement, a bowel movement. Um,
My
but
fucking, mom keeps
and it's funny
bothering me.
because it's like I said, I don't like Andrew Garfield because of fucking Amazing Spider-Man. And on the like the other end of the spectrum, as we discussed in our video, I again don't like Emma Stone because she was in a fucking Amazing Spider-Man, and because I thought she was like, everyone was like, oh dude, Emma Stone, and I was like, all right, but like definitely, and I'm glad she did, definitely deserved the
Yeah.
best actress for La La Land.
I was trying to think like not a great year for women. I mean, the only like other like roles that I thought were really good was oh god, I can't even remember his name, and it was I saw Moonlight, which was fucking beautiful.
Oh
Moonlight
yeah,
was
Moonlight
oh
was great.
my god, the mom in Moonlight. I thought she did a very good performance.
Oh no, that's I was like, because I thought I was like, I was looking at the nominations at first, like before I even saw Moonlight, and I was like, oh yeah, Viola Davis probably deserves it. I never saw Fences, but like from what I saw of Fences, she was excellent in it.
Yeah, I
Octavia
hear her
Spencer's-
performance is very good, but the movie itself isn't.
Well, I heard the movies. It's more like, hey, do you like acting? Do you like plays? Then you
Yeah,
should
I hear
probably
it's
see,
very
Fences.
play based, and I
Well, it's
see
based-
movies,
it is
so I don't
based
have
on a
to see
play,
plays.
so-
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, and that's why a lot of people who I talked to who saw it didn't like it because it is very play based.
Yeah, there are a lot of monologues and a lot of stuff. I mean, every
Yeah.
time I walked in to do a theatre check and that when I was working, it was like Denzel Washington monologue number 387. And he was like, when I was young, and I was like, oh, okay. But, yeah, and then I saw Moonlight, and I saw Naomi Harris's performance. I was like, ooh. I was like, that's going to be hard to beat too. But I'm
Yeah.
at least glad that it won Best Picture.
Yeah, that was fucking
because,
crazy. I didn't
yeah.
watch the Oscars, but when I saw that the next
Same.
morning, I was actually up when it happened, and I was watching Al Jazeera, and they were like breaking news. Moonlight actually just won Best Picture, and I was like, what the fuck? Because like I've completely stopped watching the Oscars because like I mean we now know they're bullshit, and like it's
Yeah,
not
of
about
course.
how good a movie is, it's about how you sell it. But like I did not expect Moonlight to win at all. Like my thing was like, okay, La La Land was probably gonna win, and granted I did really like La La Land a lot, but
Yeah, I
I
was
loved
about to say, La La
loved
Land's
Moonlight a
excellent
lot
too.
more. So I was
did
like, yeah,
really
you know,
like Moonlight too.
Yeah,
It was
I was
to
like-
me. It was the same as with Moonlight. I know this is weird to say for an animated movie too. It was for Moonlight and La La Land. Between those two, it was like Zootopia and Moana for me. I was like, well, one of them's gonna win, and whichever one wins, they're gonna deserve it, and I'll be happy either way. And I found out Moonlight won, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, that was one of the ones I wanted to win. I'd rather that would have won than Hacksaw Ridge or
oh god,
whatever.
I would kill
the fuck
myself if
else was
Hacksaw Ridge.
nominated. What else was nominated this year? Was
Arrival
Fences?
was Fences was nominated. Arrival was nominated. La La Land, of course, was nominated. Hacksaw Ridge. What the fuck else? Hidden Figures, which I didn't see yet. Manchester by the Sea. That was great. That was really really good. I was
Still
pleasantly
haven't
surprised
seen it.
by that film. It's
Still
very
haven't
much like
seen
a
it.
Woody Allen film. It's very like it's got serious subject matter, but there's a lot of good funny parts in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like awkward life funny stuff.
Right. So did Casey Affleck deserve that Oscar? You think?
I mean, yeah, Yeah, probably. I mean, his
See,
performance is very good.
The thing is
but,
with this year is, as far as performances go, real quick, I'm sorry I cut you off again.
No, it's fine.
With most of the performances I saw like of this year nominated, and I even kind of thought back on the Ryan Gosling and La La Land performance, and actually I had a discussion with my cousin about it after I saw it, and I was like, I think it was great. I think it was one of the best movies of the year. And then she was like, yeah, I agree. And I was like, and Emma Stone was fantastic. And she was like, well, what do you think about Ryan Gosling? And I said, well, he's probably going to get nominated. I said, and she was like, do you think he deserves it? And I was like, I kind of thought back to it, and I was like, well, maybe not. Because he really, like, at times it was... I mean, and I love Ryan Gosling. And as we discussed, you know, he's a great singer, and he's a good actor.
Yeah, and it's not a bad performance. I would say it's just not my favorite performance from him.
It's a little I like what you said. It's he does a good Woody Allen.
yeah, he does. He does a good Woody Allen. This year was definitely a little bit better than last year. Like, I mean, truly what killed the Oscars for me was when Spotlight won. Spotlight, I just thought was just utter. It was. I've said this before. It was like the equivalent of reading about pedophilia in a newspaper.
Which
and I don't even know what.
So.
Yeah, it is, but like there's like even some like bad performances from the pedophiles, which is odd. And like it's just I don't know. I've seen other, Catholic priest pedophile films that I just thought were better. And they've never gotten recognition. Recognition.
There's that one with Richard Burton, isn't there?
Yeah, God, I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen it, but
neither have I. I just know that there was one with Richard Burton where I think he was a Catholic, a Catholic priest who got accused of sexual abuse. And then there's not a Catholic one, but what'd you call it one? Still a pedophilia one. The Hunt.
Yes, I know exactly.
Mads
what you're talking
Mikkelsen.
about. I have a DVD of that on my shelf that I need to watch.
One of my friends recommended it to me. Another guy named Josh, who said it was one of his favorite movies of all time. And the only thing that's putting me off it is like, I've got the typical, and ironic because I'm not American, but the typical American approach where I'm like, oh, if it's not in English, I don't want to watch it. But it's not that. It's more like
you monster.
It's in another language, so I feel like I'm missing stuff because I'm like, well, when you watch like something with subtitles, the subtitles aren't always 100% accurate.
No, yeah, they're not.
So if I'm watching a movie
that's in
I think he's from Sweden. Is it Swedish?
I think so.
I forget. That's not in English. I'm not going to appreciate it as much as if I was a native speaker of that language and I was like...
I mean, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
There's definitely been like foreign films. I mean, I said this earlier with Piano Teacher, another Michael Haneke film that I was really moved by is Seventh Continent, and that's foreign, but I mean, like it depends, like because like you're not native to that language, there still is a barrier. But I think as long as you have the ability to read, you can still at least get somewhat of the idea,
Yeah, which explains why, a lot of fucking rednecks are like, oh, fucking foreign films, man.
God damn.
We're just offending everybody tonight.
Did I tell you when I was in college that there were kids in my film class who were like, I can't watch a black and white film or I can't watch a foreign film? In a film class. In a film fucking class, for Christ's sakes.
I mean, I can understand like being like I can't watch that movie because like You know, it's like there's something about it that takes me away from it. But that's like a normie thing. But like and it's funny because I rewatched, because it's on every fucking Christmas time. A Wonderful Life, right? I don't know if I told you this.
Great fucking movie.
Yeah, I actually, because the last time I saw it, I was like a kid.
Yeah.
So when I saw it, I was just like, oh, this is supposed to be really good, and whatever. And then I rewatched it last year at Christmas, and I was floored. I don't want to say it's like the greatest movie ever made, but it is excellent.
Yeah.
And it was the fact that it was like, it's just this portrayal of this completely selfless man who gives up everything in his life, like all his dreams, all his ambitions, stuff like that, to help out other people.
Yeah.
And I never really understood. Oh, I understood it because obviously, you know, that's the whole point of the movie, is helping others, you know, even if it doesn't seem like it at the time, you know, is extremely rewarding. And it's, you know, even if you think it doesn't make your life better, you know, it's helping other people. So, but and I never really, I was like, yeah, whatever, as a kid. And then I watched it like last year, and it just finally fucking struck me. And I was like, this is like the saddest fucking story ever.
Yeah, man.
Because he's like, I want to travel the world. I don't want to be stuck.
I'm
going to
work for National Geographic. I'm gonna do all this crazy shit.
And then his dad dies. He's stuck with a company, and then his brother's like, "Oh, I'll take over, so you can go do your shit."
Yeah, and his like fucking uncle is like incompetent and loses a shit ton of money.
And then his brother's like, he marries while he's away, and then he gets offered a job by his wife's his father-in-law. And then he's like, listen, I was just, you know, she says something about it, and he's like, listen, I told her not to say it, and she's got excited, you know, I'm not even going to take it. And then he goes to speak to the wife, and he's like, so is this a good job? And then she's like, oh yeah, it's got great benefits and stuff like that. And he just kind of goes like, yeah, okay. And
yeah.
I remember watching it, like, and I was like, oh God, like I felt ill, man, because of like,
and you know what sucks?
Shit that guy's life is.
That movie like was not well received when it came out, man.
No,
like and people like, hated it.
And I remember because one of my friends, the other Josh, the one who told me about The Hunt, said he wanted to write a play that was based around like all like what'd you call them, public domain characters.
Oh, okay.
Like all writing
and he's
together
one of them.
And he said George Bailey, and I was like, what do you mean George Bailey? And he was like, well, It's a Wonderful Life is public domain. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, what do you mean it's public domain? And he's like, well, it did so poorly at the time that they never renewed the license, like the rights for it, and it just went into public domain, and that's why it was shown on television all the time. And then because everybody was seeing it on the television, they were like, "Oh my! This movie is incredible." And it explains to me why, like, every movie you watch, like, it's like, oh, there's characters watching It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Like in Home Alone 2 or Bruce Almighty, and I remember even seeing a commercial that used a scene from It's a Wonderful Life in it.
They actually remade it. Or they did at least a TV movie. Like I think they remade it in like the 70s, and I want to say Orson Welles had something to do with it. Like he was Mr. Oh God, who's the fucking antagonist of that movie? The old guy.
Mr. Potter.
Mr. Potter. Yeah,
played by Drew Barrymore's great grandfather.
Yeah, fucking yeah. Orson Welles does a performance. I haven't seen it, but like yeah, that's something I think would be at least worth watching just for Orson Welles' performance.
I mean, unlike his last movie.
Oh God, what was his last movie?
Fucking Transformers, the animated
Oh yeah, that's
movie.
right. He does the voice of fucking oh, what the fuck is his name? The giant like
I don't know, but
planet
Do
that
you
eats
think that-
robots or some shit.
Do you think that like because like it's apparently it's yeah, it was
That was my impression.
that was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, well, thank you.
I thought you played an actual soundbite there, and I was like, oh, pretty good.
No, no, that was me. Well, thank you. Oh, well, thank you.
But fuck, I think there's someone else in the movie who also passed away. After it was, I think it was Scatman Crothers who played one of the characters. He was you'll know him, obviously.
Oh yeah, fuck. I
As
just
a fucking,
recently rewatched The Shining recently.
Yeah. It's called Shining.
What? Shining.
It's like that is okay. Pause real
I
quick.
fucking
Stephen
love.
King,
I
what
love.
the fuck?
I love his fucking pad. By the way, in the Shining.
Oh yeah, with like the naked chick behind
yeah,
this like,
yeah,
painting.
yeah. Like man, and he's just like sitting back, relaxing. What a cool dude.
And just his voice, his Hong Kong Phooey voice.
Yeah.
He does like that. He's like a
Oh,
pre-Bill Cosby.
Yeah, a non.
Yeah, listen to his
Bill
like
Cosby.
everybody's Bill Cosby impression, and it sounds like Scatman Crothers. He's like, "I don't like this," you know.
Oh,
Also, please
more
tell
with
me,
the
please tell me,
pudding.
you know what Hong Kong Phooey is?
Yeah, the fucking cartoon dog who thinks
See-
he like knows karate and shit.
Yeah, like I have like moments where I look back to things in my childhood and go, is
Dude,
that
I
real?
watched Hanna-Barbera. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
But like, you never see any Hanna-Barbera shit on television anymore.
Dude,
So I'm like,
I've been rewatching like C-Lab 2021 and like Harvey Birdman Attorney at Law just so I could see those characters, honestly. And like cuz like I was rewatching a video of them talking about how they made that show and what what Adult Swim did when it was like coming about on Cartoon Network is that all those Hanna-Barbera like stills and like writes those characters like they're like public domain now.
shit.
So they were like, fuck it, we've got the old stills, let's just make some shows out of them, and like that's like have you ever
Space
seen?
Ghost.
Yeah, Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Like, dude, man, like that's the only way like people will probably remember those characters now.
Well, I think I was reading up on it, and like whatever the original show that Space Ghost was on, whatever it was called, if it was just Space
I
Ghost
think
or whatever.
Yeah, it was just called Space Ghost.
Yeah, and it wasn't like I believe it wasn't very successful, but like if you look at like the people who were in it, it's like it's got Don Messick, who was the original Scooby Doo. It's got tons of these voice actors. That
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
Like, holy shit! Like, how did that not just alone make people go like, "Oh, dude, you know, fucking Scooby Doo and Muttley from."
Well, the thing is, like,
Wacky
I think with, like,
Racists.
I think with all those like cartoon shows like Scooby Doo and like Hong Kong Phooey and like Johnny Quest is that like none of them were
And,
like
well,
so
I mean, Johnny Quest. I don't know if you know, Johnny Quest has had a resurgence on what's it called, Reddit, because
Oh,
of
has it?
Race Bannon, the guy, like his dad or whatever,
Oh God,
the white-haired
is
guy.
Is it
People
because he
just
looks like Mike
use-
Pence?
It's exactly that reason. So like it's
Oh my
got like
God.
stills from him, and it's like joke textbook joke textbook just like pictures and stuff like that, where it's like got the text underneath, where it's like above is a picture of Mike Pence, and it's like there's one of him like shooting, and it looks like the gun's like electricity instead of bullets coming out of it, and it's like Mike Pence showing off his new shotgun to shock the gay out of a gay rights parade. It's like 2029 colorized for effect. And it's like shit like that, and I'm like, and I was like, oh, that's fucking Johnny Quest. Like, I used to watch it as a kid, and like, you see people talk about it, and they're like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, what show is this from?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
It's that Gap Man. But like I was saying, like I don't think those shows were like particularly like popular. Like I don't think any one of them like got really big at the time. It's just that like Cartoon Network, like when that came on, like they bought the rights to Hanna-Barbera, and they would just play that shit over and over again. So like it seeded its way into like I don't even think Scooby-Doo when that came on was very popular. It's only because like our generation who watched it a shit ton on Cartoon Network now really likes it.
Well, that's not entirely true because I mean my mom, she was a '70s kid, right?
Well, no, yeah, my mom watched like Scooby-Doo too.
Yeah. So she was like, oh yeah, every day we came home from school, you know, we'd turn on Scooby-Doo and then this show and that show. Like, she loved Scooby-Doo. There was one called Captain Caveman.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fucking blast from the past.
I know Captain Caveman.
Yeah. And then,
fucking
like,
crashing
Josie and the
through
Pussycats
walls.
and shit like
Yeah.
that.
And the Beatles
and just
cartoon.
all these things, like, that just, and that I watched, like, again, I watched as a kid, but mostly because it was like you said, Cartoon Network would play them, like, in between their original stuff. Like, I'd be watching Johnny Bravo or Dexter's Lab, and then afterwards, like, we get, like, Captain Caveman or, like, an old Tom and Jerry and fucking Looney Tunes, man. Just go back to that shit. Fucking
fuck yeah. I
still
love
funny,
Looney
like,
Tunes.
It's, like, Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes are still funny, like, even now. I mean, sometimes they can be a bit like, ooh, okay,
and
maybe
a little
that's
racy.
not entirely, yeah, be like, maybe that's not the best thing to be showing kids nowadays. But like, dude, I would definitely like if my kid was like, "Can I watch Tom and Jerry?" I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, son!"
Of course. And
Learn
guess what? You
something
just got
about-
reverse grounded.
Yeah,
That
you
means
have now
I give you
been,
money.
Get one. Yeah, you get a get out of because I'm so poor because I don't work a real job because I don't have a good degree in anything. You get a get out of grounding free card.
Yeah. That means I'll let you look at porn on the internet for 1 hour.
Yeah. As long as it's just Google Images.
yeah. Hey, son, you ever seen the cover for Scorpion Elm?
We're bringing it back.
You're 10,
circle.
right? you're 10,
It's
right?
okay
You'll
for you to
think
do
this
it.
is cool.
But just,
Yeah,
just,
you'll
just make
think
sure
this
it's on
is
your
cool.
computer, which is... Yeah, it's on your computer, which is under your name,
Oh, fuck.
which is on your own Wi-Fi, because everybody has their own Wi-Fi at this point in the future. Yeah, dude, no, what the fuck were we talking about to get on the topic of, like, all this shit?
Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, but, like, I'm trying to remember what we were talking about to get here.
Oh, that, like, some of it's a little too racy. Looney Tunes, fucking, your kid. If your kid asked you, like, can I look at Tom and Jerry? And you were like, hell yeah.
I remember now, right? And we're just gonna go all the way back, right? We're just gonna go full in reverse, right? We were talking about old cartoons, and like the ones that Hanna-Barbera released that weren't popular at the time, but then got like a resurgence in like the 90s and 2000s. And because I brought up Hong Kong Phooey, because of the Scatman was in it, not the Scatman, but Scatman Crothers, because he was in the Transformers movie, and we were talking about the fact that was the last movie that Scatman Crothers or Orson Welles did before they died.
Yeah.
So, what a journey that was.
We have, and we are at 2:18.
Yes.
I'm exhausted. I think as a first episode goes, I think this is a good time to cut it off. I love you,
yes,
Connor.
I love you too, Josh. And thanks for checking out this as of yet unnamed podcast.
Yeah.
That Josh and I have done. We're probably just gonna name it something really racist. Like
the alt good show.
All immigrants must die.
Oh God.
And that's okay for me to say that because I am an immigrant and I still have my green card, so I'm not an American. Thank you very much.
Oh. Well, you're an American to me, Connor.
I've been here I've been here technically. I've been out of Scotland longer than I've been in Scotland.
Yeah, man.
So if we're gonna, split hairs over it, then technically, I'm more American. Well,
Just tell
Yeah,
people
more
you're
American than I
Canadian.
am Scottish.
Just tell people you're Canadian.
And
You'll be
it was
fine.
only a year and a half in Canada, so that hardly counts.
Nah,
so,
you'll be fine.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Um,
I hope anybody
we'll-
listened.
Yeah, we'll come up with a name during the downtime we have,
Yeah.
which is none.
Yeah.
And, we will think up a name. Maybe we'll record a quick like, hey, we've called the podcast this.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
Thingy-ma-thing show with Fang Majoo. Wah.
I
That-
I want
that's the
to
title.
just come up with like names and then go onto like the iTunes store and the podcast section and just type those names in to be like, all right, Jews must die. Okay, someone took that one. Looks like it's a comedy podcast. I don't know what that's about. All right, how about 100 years? Oh, damn it, never mind. Yeah, just stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's- and
I kind of fucked up just now. I mean, I'll be able to fix this, but like I like stopped recording and like didn't realize that while you were talking, so I'm going to have to fix that when I edit
Right.
this. So that's a little out of sync.
Oh, I mean, it's okay because I mean we cut each other off all the time, so it would just be like,
Oh, no, yeah.
why's Conor cutting off Josh so much here at the end? But I mean, to be fair, if you know our names like that by the end of the first podcast, thank you very much. You're such a
You're
loyal
our biggest
listener.
fucking fans.
Yeah. But
you
yeah,
last
I
all
mean,
2 hours.
yeah, I mean we'll I don't know where we'll upload this. I mean, I've heard people say SoundCloud's good. That's what Brooks and Zach use.
Yeah.
I had another friend who was like, "Oh yeah, you can use this site, and it would upload it straight to like online." And oh my god, I think you can pick up the Game Grumps in the background.
I can now. Now I can
yeah.
hear it. I can hear like is that Danny screaming?
Oh, that was both of them screaming. That's why you can pick it up.
Oh, okay.
Um, and that was Aaron.
Yeah, I could tell. I could tell by that one.
But yeah, I'll talk to some more people, figure out where we can upload the best place to upload.
I'll
And,
probably like make a video on my channel and be like, "Hey, I'm on 2 different shows, one with Connor and one with the boys. Go listen to both." And
I might upload this on the my channel too, or just be like,
what we
hey.
could do is we could put them both on our channels. Like you put one there, and I'll put a copy on mine, and then create a channel or whatever, and link it to that. You know, and have this be like your first free episode or whatever. Or I mean, I all episodes will probably be free. I can't imagine us asking for fucking money for this.
Yeah, we'll go to YouTube and be like, we'd like to do a YouTube Red show.
Of us just talking about music that nobody listens to anymore and cartoons
covers
that nobody likes.
And album covers with pornography on
Yeah,
there. I mean, you have like PewDiePie and Vsauce on there. I mean,
Oh, did something happen with Vsauce?
I honestly have no idea. There's just a whole bunch of stuff on Reddit about him being like a piece of shit. So he might have said something that I missed, but I know fucking PewDiePie is apparently a racist. Yeah, so we'll
damn.
and so one of us will edit this.
Yeah, it might be me.
Probably.
Only, I mean, I'm definitely gonna try and fix like there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 times where like the microphone has peaked on my audio, because like I've either bumped the microphone or I've gotten a little too close to the microphone itself.
I
So,
think
I
there's
at
a
least
couple
need to fix
times in
that.
mine too where I've just been like, "Oh, Josh,
Oh, please. Oh, yes, Connor.
oh, Josh." No, let's hope let's hope our show also doesn't have like millions of Game Grump references to the point where they're like,
Oh,
dude,
God.
stop.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll go the opposite, and we'll be like, hey, we listen to Game Grumps, and Game Grumps will be like, oh, that's awesome, come on our show and make love to us, you know.
Yo, fucking Connor and Josh listen to us? Whoa.
Yeah, seriously? The Conor and Josh Unnamed show? And,
The
okay,
show
that's
that
what-
hasn't even been named?
Yeah, that's what we'll just name it. It'll be like Conor and Josh Unnamed Show.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
that possibly could be it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just lazy enough that it might work, but you know. Yeah. So let's call it a day, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do with uploading afterwards, and then we'll hopefully get another episode out. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we'll
I'm
probably only
glad
be
we
able to-
finally got to be able to do this. This was
Yeah.
nice. This was lovely.
And we'll probably only do like once a month. Maybe if we have enough free time in the future,
yeah.
we'll do more. But I mean, yeah, you should probably see these out about once a month. And we might not record it during that month. So if you get the one for March and we're like, hey, you know who's really great? Peter Gabriel. It's a good thing he's not dead. And turns out like 2 weeks before we released it, the horrific happened and Peter Gabriel died. Like. I would not come to work. I'd be mourning, like
No, I'd be,
all black.
I'd be consoling with my father. I'd be trying to get him to not commit suicide.
Then me because like.
Oh
it's
yeah,
like,
you.
I'm like, what's left in life? But then, you know, other than Peter Gabriel music at this point, and you know now I can't ever go see him in concert or meet the guy. So,
Might as well see him in heaven.
yeah. That's
Well, and on
I
that
wanna-
sad note of killing ourselves.
yeah. Yeah, so thank you everybody.
This was the show.
who sat through however long this video is going to turn out. I mean, for us it's an hour
Yeah.
and a half, but for you guys it
Yeah.
hopefully won't be 2.5 hours. Excuse me, but for you guys, hopefully it won't be that long.
Yeah.
Because if it was, I wouldn't blame if no one listened to this ever again. But anyway, yeah. So that's it for me, and that's it for him. And good night.
Yeah. Goodbye. I love you.
Goodbye.
I love all of you. All of you.